Yo guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Blue Lock chapter 353 and the leaks with Teddy, right? Teddy Knight. So, we're also going to be talking about Blue Lock's formation. What is their formation going into the England match? Right? So, they have Teddy Knight to worry about and whoever else is on the England team with them. Now, you've seen when he first appears, he goes through Aru, Nico, and Aiku. So we're gonna need players on the defense. They were our defense. Aiku was the defense. Aru and Nico were our great defense. But if he's able to get through them, and only Isagi and Rin are the only two, well, he kind of got past. Dribble past him, but Isagi was the one to take the ball from him. But that basically was to show us that what level he's currently on, which is the fact that most of the team is obviously not able to get through him, and that's what usually any new gen that comes on in the story. That what happened with Kaiser, that happened with Loki, that happened with Sai. They're able to get through most of the cast. But what really stood out was, of course, Isagi's talking about we need to be under one banner. Basically, we need to have one singular purpose, and that one purpose is to be the dark horse of the World Cup. And that whole point of being the dark horse, we're gonna change Japan's soccer by being this dark horse. We're going to change everything about it from the ground up with our own ego. And the one thing that interests me the most is Teddy's whole spiel about like he's a puppet and he has no ego, right? And he's saying it's such a burden to have an ego, right? And then Isagi saying that he deals with that burden very well. I really want Kaneshiro to go deep into that. Like go deep into not just his ideology of how he thinks having an ego is a burden, but also like how does that connect back to Isagi? But don't make him an Isagi rival. You know what I mean? Like don't make him someone that he goes against Isagi and then he's like, "Oh, this guy is so amazing," right? And he gives Teddy an ego. No, I don't want that to happen. I want him to go against other players, maybe Batra or just other Blue Lock players. Go against other Blue Lock players. I want him to not. I don't want his character to come full circle in one match. Right? I want him to. Yes, we can learn about him. Learn about his dribbling. Learn about his techniques. Learn about his mentality as a puppet. But I don't want him to have an entire character development arc in one match. You know, they kind of did that with Hugo. You know, his whole number two. But the thing with Hugo that made it acceptable was the fact that he was with Loki and Charles, right? So and Hugo was taking over that match, right? So and they won. So his character isn't fully developed, right? He wasn't beaten by Blue Lock, right? His ideology in itself was not beaten, right? Even though Isagi says like beat your number two theory, you still lost, buddy. But I don't want thing with Teddy is I don't want him to I don't want him to be beating Isagi like the France match, the whole match, and then Isagi comes up with a plan and beats Teddy, and Teddy's like, "Oh wow, this ego thing really is special, isn't it?" And then he's like, "Yeah, man, get better." Like, I don't want that to happen at all. I want him to have an have a rivalry. He can think about Isagi, right? I know that sounds crazy as well, but he can have a pseudo rivalry with Isagi without his whole mentality revolving around destroying him, right? He can have a rivalry with Bachira, right? Because Bachira can dribble. He dribbles. That's his entire game. They both dribble. Bam. That's a rivalry right there. And Isagi can be his mental rival, while Bachira can be his playstyle rival, right? I just don't want him to become more of like a I'm here so Isagi can beat me and grow and become stronger and get closer to his goal of being number one. And we know that's the entire point of the manga, but I just want the side characters to be emphasized more, a little more, like it was in the first like season page of the manga, where we got segments of Bachira's development, we got segments of Chigiri's development, we got segments of Isagi's development, we got segments of Ren's development. Now it's just Isagi and Blue Lock. It's not even other characters. It's just Blue Lock, Isagi. You know, I mean, Ren isn't really having that much of development besides being connected to Isagi. You know, so it's kind of weird. You feel me? To be connected to Isagi and that being your entire thing, which is crazy to me. Because I want Teddy's development to be development on the character he's going to become. All right, his character development should be not just I want him to be, you know, he goes against Isagi and he gets beat, you know, because of course they're going to lose. This is the game. They literally have to win this game, and they're going to win. It's Blue Lock story. They have to win. But I want to focus on Teddy in himself. He is a wingback dribbler. I don't want him to be an Isagi rival. Okay, there's other ways to do it, and I also don't want his story to be finished by getting beat. I don't want him to get beat and that's it. He gets beat, changes a little bit. I'm gonna do things differently. Fist bumps Isagi, and we're done. I don't want him to do how they did in Onazi, where he's just a flashback. No, he one should not focus on Isagi. He should focus on Bachira. Not only does that help Teddy, but that can also help Bachira, right? They're both dribblers, right? And Bachira is all focused on this egoist thing. When he first came in, that's the first thing Bachira said about him when he was beating him. Oh, this guy's an egoist. Teddy, I want to see pure. I don't even know. I'm stumbling against my words, man. But I want to see pure. I want to see him against Bachira. Teddy, Bachira. That's what I want to see. I want to see them go through some growth. You know, go through some growth. And Isagi can have his parts with Ren. That's what I want to see. Him and Ren. How is he going to try to orchestrate this with Ren? And then I want to see how Teddy changes. Right? That's all. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys next video.